So, folks, it is time to have a difficult conversation. This Buffalo Bills team is not a Super Bowl team. And to be quite frank with you, I don't even think this team has a playoff win in them. The Buffalo Bills end up dropping a very familiar game last night to the Houston Texans. And it's wild because I feel like all of our boneheaded, head scratching losses have all been the same game, all of the same weaknesses glaring us in the face. Now, I'm sure you guys watched my live stream reaction earlier this morning where I had Tommy on. We ultimately ended up unpacking all of the things we've seen from that game. But again, it's just the same conversation over and over and over again. The problem here, Bills Mafia, is this team is just limited. It's a limited team. Whether or not that you want to put it on injuries on the defensive side of the football, if you want to put it on Joe Brady's play calling, which has been all but figured out by most defensive coordinators, if you want to put it on Josh Allen's play, you would all be correct, each and every single one of you. Very rarely can you just pinpoint one specific reason why the team is in shambles. Now, what I want to do on this episode is, really find answers and then hopefully be able to carve a path for the Bills to make the playoffs. And yes, all my expectations are where it stands is making the playoffs, nothing else. You could kiss this division goodbye. I'm sorry. I do not see the New England Patriots dropping 3 games. I'm not even entirely convinced that Buffalo can beat the Patriots in Foxborough. As you know, the Bills are now 11-12 on the road since 2023. Sure. And so the Buffalo Bills in the Josh Allen era still have a winning record on the road. But damn, we are such a different team when we're not in Buffalo. And it is vastly, vastly concerning. Now, most of us are going to come in, right? And even including myself, because when you end up looking at what this team has done and what fan bases, who they like to throw under the bus first, it's almost always the defense. And that's even including myself, right? Like when you're in the moment emotionally, I said this last night. I said, leave Bobby Babich in Houston. I still have a theory that Sean McDermott has taken over play calling several times this year. I think that he's done it for about 2 games as a whole. And he took over at the half in Houston and then also against Atlanta earlier this season. But at the end of the day, I like to bring myself to reality. And this is a real thing. When you look at the Buffalo Bills defense, let's go on ahead and just check out all of these red indicators, folks. We have Ed Oliver on the IR. We have Dwayne Carter on the IR. We have a 3rd-round rookie, Landon Jackson, on the IR. We have Michael Hoyt on the IR. Dorian Strong, Taylor Rapp, Hamlin. We have Bernard is questionable. And probably a couple of other players that ended up gathering an injury last night or likely being added to the report. I'm terrified to look at this injury report incoming to the Pittsburgh Steelers game. But even with all of that said, folks, I really want us to look at this from a different perspective. In the 3 ugly losses that the Buffalo Bills have had, Dolphins start off. The Bills defense, as battered, as old, as undersized as they are, held Miami to 16 points in the first 3 quarters. I know the game got away from us in the 4th. But you're not telling me that a quarterback that was the reigning MVP that gets paid $55 million per year, I could care less about the scheme. I could care less about the wide receivers. He won an MVP with the wide receivers on this team last year. Not a lot has changed. You couldn't put up a single point and give your defense a break. How about the Falcons? Held them to 3 points in the second half with Michael Penix. Texans last night held the Texans to only 3 points in the second half. I share your frustrations. I get that Davis Mills was able to march down the field with 1 minute and 38 seconds left, making the 2-minute drill, really looked like it was prime Tom Brady out there. This Buffalo Bills team had some head-scratching defensive play calls, prevent defense, give me a damn break. But you can't put all of this on a team that has clearly been doing their job. While you can batter this defense, one thing you can give them that you can't particularly give the offense this year is they are at least capable of getting over hurdles. They are at least capable of making adjustments, showing up more than the offense has showed up almost all season. This defense is the defense, ladies and gents. It's the defense. We have 10 plus guys on the IR right now and or injured, playing through injuries. We went into this offseason doing whatever we could to address the defensive line so that we could get pressure on the quarterback. And the Bills' front office hearts were in the right place. But nobody would have expected that we would have had almost all of those moves be on the IR, miss multiple games, or be playing through injuries. So that's virtually gone. It's virtually gone. Now, moving on, we need to take a look at what the hell we can expect for like this playoffs right now. I'm not sure if you guys have taken a look at the schedule, but it's tough for me to find. It's tough for me to find a matchup that I would feel comfortable against based off of how this Bills team has been playing. As it stands, next week we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, yes, has an older defense. I don't think that they're anywhere near the Houston Texans. So maybe the personnel won't be lining up. You have Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Their defense is terrible. So I pray to God and hope that Buffalo can at least roll 35-40. But you're going to be in a shootout with Joe Burrow. Have the Patriots in Foxborough, where this Buffalo Bills team is now 2-3 on the road. This is going to be against a divisional opponent. Browns have a great defense too. They're right up there. Philadelphia Eagles, give me a break. A step down from the Houston Texans defense, if that. And then the Jets to finish off this season. We've been in similar positions, right? Where we were 6-6 in 2023, rattled off the following 5 to finish 11-6 and win the division. But at least there was a momentum shifter, right? At least we had a move to play. Some of us are mad at Joe Brady. Some of us are mad at Josh Allen. But there's no move for us to make right now, guys. There's no move for us to make. Like, what are we going to do? We going to bring in Brandon Cooks? Great. Fantastic. He's probably going to be utilized exactly like Elijah Moore and Curtis Samuel have been. Maybe Josh has some trust in him, right? But now I look at this. Right now, this Buffalo Bills team is the 6th seed in the NFL. 6th seed. With that loss last night, the LA Chargers are currently ahead of us on the 5th. And look, it's pretty clear, barring an absolute meltdown from this New England Patriots team, we're not winning the division. Come on. Come on, man. We can kiss that goodbye. The only thing we can do is strategically find our way in the playoffs where we at least have some sort of favorable matchup on wild card weekend. Because say, for example, that Baltimore ultimately ends up getting into the 4th seed and winning this division, which I genuinely believe that they are going to. I'm not sure about you guys, but I don't feel comfortable playing Baltimore in Baltimore on wild card weekend. You could chalk that up as a loss. Maybe some of us feel more comfortable going up against quality competition because that's the only time we've ever seen Josh Allen look like Josh Allen. Funny enough, you go up against Baker Mayfield, you ultimately end up going against Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. The offense looks elite. So maybe that is good for the Bills. I don't know. But then again, spoiler alert, all of those games were at home. So what are we going to do? If the playoffs were to begin right now, we would be playing the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. And look, today, if that were to happen, I think Buffalo would get completely embarrassed. And so I think Jonathan Taylor would probably run for over 200. And with Daniel Jones, wouldn't need to do much. I just don't think this team has the heart. I just don't think that this team, at least on the offensive side of the football, can keep this team in games. Like this Bills defense, like I said, is it terrible? Yes. I mean, it is. Like, look at our injury report. Like, what do you expect, guys? We have 33-year-old Jordan Poyer out there as a starting safety. Okay. We have practice squad guys rotating on the interior of our defensive line right now. Like, we regularly have to get over the injuries. We have TJ Sanders sometimes taking snaps as an edge rusher. We have Joey Bosa playing with one hand. I mean, it's tough. Like, say that the playoffs were to finish up. Like, look, maybe this team is better suited to go on a run as a wild card spot. And this sounds crazy, but what has the division gotten us? Like in the past couple of years, like what has it gotten us? We never got the 1 seed, and the 1 seed's completely gone. Come on. Like that was the goal going into the season, was the 1 seed gone. But what has the 2nd or the 3rd seed gotten us? Maybe the wild card is the best possible move, but I'll tell you what, we got to get healthy. That's for damn sure. Maybe it's the 7th seed that we want. Maybe we trust ourselves going up against a familiar opponent. And so against New England. Maybe that's the case. All I know is that this team needs to do some soul searching. This team needs to get it together. This team needs to play complementary football the rest of the way. So with the Steelers coming up, and so if I'm a gambling man, I could totally see us winning this one. And so I could see us beating the Bengals. I see us losing to the Patriots. It's just how it is. Browns, probably a win. And then Philadelphia, it's going to be tough for me to see a Bills team win this game. Not unless we go up on a 2023 type run. It's not looking like that, folks. And because at least in 2023, we had a card to play. I mean, we had a card to play, man. Like we were able to get rid of Dorsey, and like that was like a momentum shifter within the team. I mean, damn, it's all said and done. Now, one thing I will say is, yes, I will acknowledge that we went up against the best defense in the NFL last night. Okay, I get that. And very oftentimes you're going to hear people say, oh, the blueprint is out on the Buffalo Bills. Don't let people tell you that. Okay. You need a very elite and specific type of personnel to execute what the Houston Texans and Atlanta Falcons defense was able to execute. Yes, I understand that Atlanta has a losing record. Yes, I understand that Houston is just now barely over 500 with the win last night. But look, it's a very good defense. They ended up rushing. You're not going to see that in the AFC. You are not going to see that in the AFC. It is the Denver Broncos and it is the Houston Texans that have a defense like this, and that's it. Next best defense, technically on paper, per advanced metrics, was the Kansas City Chiefs. So does that make us feel better? I don't know what will at this point. I really don't. But I think as far as curbing expectations, this Buffalo Bills team is at the very best a 1-win playoff team. Like that's ceiling for me right now. And I hate having that conversation. I am a fan. I am a diehard fan of this organization. I want to continue to get excited about Sunday. And I promise you that I will. I promise you that I will go as in-depth as possible on game plans, on understanding the enemy. I will be the loudest cheerleader of this team if they are able to prove me wrong and go on a run and show some semblance of consistency. But it's not looking good right now, guys. It's not looking good. Thankfully, right now, we have a mini bye that's coming off of Thursday, but I really don't know what to tell you. If any of you are still watching, and so I'd like to remind everybody that I am giving away a signed James Cook jersey on Monday after the Steelers game. I will be announcing the winner. In order to enter, you must be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. I know several of you watch this YouTube channel, but you don't subscribe. Well, if you want a chance to win in this bad boy, you have to be a subscriber. Also, like this video, help me out a little bit, and a giant shout out to our good friends over on Sleeper. Folks, Sleeper, bar none, the #1 player prop platform on the market today. if you were to take the unders on most Bills players, you probably would have been a big winner. Okay. It's a simple process. You pick 2 to 5 players. And as long as you accurately predict their projections, you could be a winner of up to 1,000x your overall return. Hit that link in my description, and they're giving you $20 just for signing up. That could be put toward your first parlay or first couple. Who knows? And of course, also matching 100% of your first deposit all the way up to $100. Man, shout out to Sleeper for being a proud partner of this show. But guys, it sucks, but the Buffalo Bills are just a limited roster. This Buffalo Bills team has hit the injury bug like no other. I still believe that there is no excuse because for the most part, this offense is healthy. And with the defense has overcome quite a bit and is still giving the Buffalo Bills opportunities to win this game. It just is what it is. I love each and every single one of you. Like this video, subscribe, and you'll see me soon. Peace.